Imagine you are standing in the center of a crowded room. The music is loud, the drinks are flowing, and the air is thick with the desperate scent of people trying to be noticed. But you? You are different. People are looking at you. They are aware of your every move, yet nobody dares to approach you casually. Not because you're hidden in a corner, but because you've built a wall they can't even see. Most people think presence means being the loudest voice in the room. They think it means being the life of the party, shaking every hand, and offering a smile to anyone who glances their way. They are tragically wrong. In the hierarchy of power, the loudest person in the room is usually the most desperate. They are begging for validation. They are accessible. And in the game of social status, accessibility is the death of respect. When you are always available, you are a commodity. When you are a commodity, you are replaceable. Today, we are changing the rules of the game. You will be there. They will see you. But they will never, ever truly reach you. By the end of this video, you will master the invisible wall strategy. This is the Machiavellian art of being present without being accessible. I am going to show you how to occupy space while remaining a total enigma. Think about your last social interaction. Did you laugh at a joke that wasn't actually funny just to avoid an awkward silence? Did you answer a personal question about your weekend or your finances because you felt pressured to fill the gap? You left that room feeling drained, empty, used. You were a social buffet and everyone took a full plate. They know your opinions. They know your triggers. They know your schedule. You are an open book written in large, easy-to-read print. That is exactly why they overlook you. That is why they interrupt you mid-sentence. You have made yourself too cheap. And the human brain is hardwired to ignore what it can get for free. In dark psychology, there is an absolute law. Availability equals low value. Think about a diamond. It does nothing. It doesn't dance. It doesn't tell jokes. It doesn't explain why it's expensive. It just sits there, but it is guarded. It is behind glass. It is difficult to touch. The invisible wall is the psychological glass case that creates reward uncertainty. When you are accessible, people know exactly how you will react. You are a predictable machine. But when you are present, physically there, yet emotionally and informationally distant, you create a vacuum. The human brain hates a vacuum. It must fill it. People will start projecting their own insecurities, fascinations, and desires onto you. You become a mirror, and they become obsessed with what they see reflected in your silence. To understand how this works in practice, we have to look back at the 15th century. In a time of brutal political shifts, there was a courtier who survived 3 different bloodthirsty regimes. While other advisors were being executed for saying the wrong word or backing the wrong duke, he remained untouchable. His secret? He was the absolute master of the static presence. At every royal banquet, he stood exactly 3 steps behind the king. He never sought the spotlight, yet he was always in it. He never spoke unless a direct question was leveled at him. And when he did speak, he used 5 words or fewer. He never laughed at the king's jokes, but he never frowned either. He was a stonewall. Other courtiers began to panic. They spent their nights trying to guess what he was thinking. Was he judging them? Was he plotting? They offered him massive bribes just to see him smile. They whispered their most dangerous secrets to him just to get a single nod of his head. He held more power than the generals because he was the only thing in the palace that couldn't be bought with a conversation. He was physically present every second, but he was entirely inaccessible. He wasn't a participant. He was the environment. Now let's get practical. How do you build this wall in the modern world, in your office, at a bar, or even in your own home? There are 4 rules you must follow. Rule 1. The 3-second lag. Most people respond to questions like a reflex. You ask, they bark back. To build the wall, you must break the reflex. When someone asks you a question, even a simple one, do not answer immediately. Wait 3 seconds. Look them directly in the eye, perfectly neutral. This silence is the first brick of the wall. It signals that your thoughts are not on public display. It forces the other person to wonder if they've said something stupid or offensive. In those 3 seconds, the power shifts from the asker to the responder. You aren't being slow. You are being deliberate. You are showing them that your words have a cost. Rule 2. Strategic non-reaction. We live in a world of reaction content. Everyone is constantly reacting to loud noises, insults, compliments, or news. You must stop. Practice the neutral mask. If someone attempts to insult you or negs you in a social setting, do not get angry. Do not defend yourself. Defense is a sign of weakness. It means their words reached you. Instead, look at them as if they are a curious specimen in a glass jar. When you don't react, their weapon hits your wall and drops. They are left looking small while you remain unshaken. You are there, but their influence has no bridge to reach your emotions. Rule 3. Information asymmetry. Stop giving away your why. This is the most common mistake cheap people make. Explanations are for people who are afraid of losing approval. Every time you justify your actions, you are handing over a piece of your soul for inspection. The invisible wall is built on the phrase, "because I decided to." When you offer no explanation, you leave them in a state of information asymmetry. They know what you did, but they have no idea why. This mystery keeps them thinking about you long after you've left the room. Rule 4. The physical pivot. This is a masterclass in nonverbal dominance. In a room, never face people fully with your whole body. Keep your shoulders slightly turned away, roughly 45 degrees. This is a physical pivot. It is a nonverbal cue that you are not stuck in the conversation. It suggests that you are ready to leave at any moment. Because you feel temporary, your presence becomes more valuable. People value what they are about to lose. When you stand fully squared to someone, you are giving them your full front, making yourself a captured audience. When you pivot, you are the one in control of the exit. This isn't about being edgy or antisocial. It's about being pro-you. The world is a predatory place. It wants to consume your time, your energy, and your peace for its own benefit. It wants you to be a resource that it can tap into whenever it feels like it. Building this wall is the only way to stay whole. You are transitioning from version 1, the person who begs to be seen, who fills the silence with nervous laughter, to version 2, the person who is impossible to ignore because they refuse to be consumed. You aren't being cold. You are being sovereign. You are drawing a definitive line between your public presence and your private soul. Let them look. Let them wonder. But never, ever let them in without a formal invitation. The wall is now up. You are standing in that same crowded room we started in, but this time, the air is different. People are approaching you with caution. They are choosing their words carefully because they don't want to look foolish in the face of your silence. They are sensing the danger of your composure. You have mastered the art of being present without being accessible, but there is a final, deeper level to this. Once the wall is built, how do you use it to influence the decisions of people who are above you? How do you turn this silence into a tool that makes your boss, your partner, or your rivals do exactly what you want, all while thinking it was their own brilliant idea? That is the shadow command technique, and we are decoding that in the very next video. If you're ready to stop being a participant and start being the architect of your own reality, subscribe. The game has just begun. We'll see you in the next lesson.